Good evening, everybody. Double or Nothing has just wrapped, and I am Bobby Munson. Beside me, Lauren Goodnight, and we are here to review everything that went down on the show. Lauren, good evening. How are you doing?
Doing quite well, and I thought I had my alarms muted.
It's all good.
I did, and it still came through. Isn't that special?
Look at that.
But yes, holy crap. That was a long pay-per-view.
Yeah, that was, I mean, with the buy-in included, we're looking at what, five? Just shy of 5 hours? Okay, so I mean, wrestling shows tend to be a little longer these days, so I'm not surprised by any.
And for the money, it was a great deal.
For sure, definitely. There's definitely a lot to unpackage and a lot that was there for everybody, and a couple of swerve surprises that I would say came our way throughout this entire
just a few.
Yeah, it was just a few for sure.
Oh God.
So let's just get right down into business here with the we'll start with the match that was on the buy-in, which was the Hardyz and Hook taking on Ethan Page and the Guns. This match was quite lengthy for a pre-show matchup. They allowed these two teams to go for quite some time. Hook, I think, is somebody who I want to get behind more. I wish that he'd get pushed a little bit higher up so that I could see more of him. I like his look. I like his moveset. I think that he could be fantastic, especially with a little bit more work, and he really got to display that. He got to carry the weight of the matchup for the Hardys, because, of course, they're not the young men that they once were. So
they're not the young bucks they once were.
Yeah. But this was good. I mean, as far as like an opener on a pre-show matchup, this one was a solid way to start the night off, I felt.
I thought so too. Yeah. It was solid enough. It was a wonderful way to not have to watch promo material. And because if you keep up with all of the stuff on Twitter and all of the stuff on YouTube, you didn't need to see the promo material again.
Yeah.
But that's a problem with the buy-in shows on all of these. And they could, put two really good matches in, and generally they only do one now, which,
I'm glad there's any, because we know over at the other company there never seems to be, and it's all promo material. So I would rather take a match than none. So.
That's true. And as much as I would absolutely adore to see Paige win, I mean, I think he's pretty cool, but there was never a chance in hell it was going to happen. Hook's win streak. You can't. It's nice. It's nice for someone who gets used so few times, and he's defending it on the road as well. So
that's right. That active guy, Alex, joining us in the chat. Hello, Alex. What were your thoughts on AEW Double or Nothing? Want to find out if anyone who's active in the chat, let us know what your thoughts are on this entire night. But obviously, the buy-in started off great, and then towards the end of the buy-in, I think right after that matchup, I split just for a bit to go take care of something. I come back and all of a sudden I see Commander come down to the ring. I'm like, oh my god, what am I missing here? I'm like,
no.
I'm like, hold on, there's only moments before the main card. What are they doing to me? And I'm like, oh, it's the Battle Royal. So
they knew that if they did all of the entrances during the show, that it would go way over their their amount of time. It would have been another 10-15 minutes, and it was it was already long.
That's right. But, I'm sure people have got a little wrestling fatigue tonight. I'm sure
just
of that.
Touch. Yeah. I feel like really, really lucky because I didn't watch NXT. I heard it was such a good show, though.
You know who would know that, though, is our good friend Astrid, who just wrapped up her stream with Ella. How did the show go, Astrid? We were busy watching some Anarchy in the Arena, so I'm not quite sure how NXT turned out, but I'm definitely going to have to go back and check out your stream for sure. And, of course, look at it. It's the biggest fan of Jay White on the planet, Ed Fries, who was there live at Battleground. Ed, so glad you were able to come join us tonight.
Oh, poor Ed. He worked so hard
I know.
to just like show up at Battleground tonight because he was there and he was being a fucking G. That was awesome. We got some pictures of it in a Discord that I'm in with him, and that was really cool. Just anytime you can go and see a live event, no matter what the company is, as long as they work safe, it's really, really worth the money, I think.
For sure. Astrid saying, overall, really good. No bad match tonight. That is awesome to hear. Ed saying his back hurts, his head hurts, and he can't walk, but he's here to listen. Oh, Ed, man.
That's your neck, your back,
right there. Yeah, okay. That's being a trooper right there. We really do appreciate the support for sure. And Alex coming in. I have too many thoughts to type out. Just thank God the crowd's voices caught up to their bodies before the semi made it.
Yes, that was a problem. They were a quiet crowd, and that was not okay because there was some really badass matches that deserved so much more energy than they got.
There was a couple of times it felt like watching a Japanese wrestling card and stuff like that, where the audience stays very quiet until a moment, and then it's like that kind of thing.
I agree. I hadn't put that together, but the vibe is the same. The vibe is the same as an NJPW show. It really is.
At least until the World Championship match, it was kind of that way, and then
and then it was like, there. Oh, we're at a wrestling show in America. We can use our mouths.
That's right. But let's talk about this Battle Royal. So this is what kicked off the card. Everybody was in the ring at this time. There's a lot to be said here. Jay White put on a fantastic show just for Ed. He tried his best, Ed, but he didn't quite
he had it written. He had it written on his left tit.
Yeah.
It was I love you, Ed. And I will always love you, Ed.
Oh,
and I believe in your dreams because you believe in mine. All hail OLE, amen.
Oh, man. I don't know how he fit it all on there, but it was just so beautiful.
He's got like 3 miles of abs now, so he was just using it like advertising space now. Advertising.
Oh, advertising. I like that. Advertising. You can just like, it depends on who you can afford. Oh God. I wonder what it's going to cost for us to get OLE right across Jay White's abs there on a show.
No, I just keep thinking about like Orange Cassidy's tiny abs versus like Big Bill's abs that are the size of my face.
I'm guessing Big Bill costs more because there's more just space to check out. Yeah,
he's a big billboard.
That's right. But he had a good showing in this one as well too. Like there was a lot from him, especially for a lot of the crap he takes sometimes. But he was good in this. He was solid. I like Swerve a whole lot. This was my only disappointment. I would have liked Swerve to 1 because I really do like Swerve a lot. That was my only gripe with it. Other than that, this was a solid start to the matchup. Should have had the crowd way more energized than it did. That's for sure. They had some energy in this, but definitely a little flat for what it provided.
Yeah. And, like you said, it was really, really good. And the crowd reaction was disproportionate.
Yeah. I like the spot with the luchadors defending one another for quite a
Oh,
while.
that was
well,
wonderful. And JR almost stuck his foot in his mouth. He was so close. He was so close. I think it had to have been Excalibur who must have caught him by the balls. Like, no.
Stop.
You could just see Masked Man go, just no, just quiet. You're gonna say something ethnic. Shut up.
Yeah. Don't go there.
I think that was he was headed there. He sure was.
Put a stop to that quickly. But
yes, oh my God, Swerve was so you aren't joking. He was so compelling the entire time.
Yeah.
His stuff with Lee was like perfect. He ended up being one of the final four. I completely agree with that decision. And I think that, he just comes off so strong. I want to see him in a belt before the end of the year. Not that he'll get the chance, but I would love to see him in a belt before the end of the year.
Yeah. And see, again, when he did the spot where he put Orange Cassidy's hands into Cassidy's pockets for him,
so I wish that fucking cute.
I wish that he would have followed it up by immediately just like landing a kick or something like that. Like do that and then land something immediately, because by picking him up, it kind of gave that opportunity for the hands to fall out of the pockets right away, which kind of lost the impact of what they were providing. But I liked where they were going with it.
It was hilarious. Yeah. The funny part was just like, it was the tiniest, most useless little kick from OC, which was not what Swerve was expecting. It just game over, done.
Yeah, that's it. That's all she wrote, folks.
OC kick, OC win.
Yeah. And that's what we predicted. Again, at this point in time, we were still 100% on our predictions for this one.
Yeah.
We came fairly close, except for on a couple of these matches that I'm pretty sure were hard to call. So.
Yeah, they would have been real difficult. Yeah. And let's see, Jericho versus Cole was who we got next. I was surprised it was this early in the match. Sabu came out, of course. Roddy Strong was there. Both of them were there for Cole, while the JAS was in Jericho's corner. It was not a terrifically long match, but it was well paced. I didn't feel that there was too much of any one element. It wasn't, an overbearing match. But it did give us a really cool little nugget at the end that I'd like to talk some about. But please tell me how you saw this match, because my attention ended up being taken by the announcement afterwards. So.
Oh, for sure. As for a match, yeah, you're right. This was shorter than I'm sure a lot of people expected, which really I felt necessarily no harm in doing that. What I really, really liked and helped define this thing was the way it finished. So having Adam Cole get on top of Jericho and just beating him in the face like he did until Aubrey has to stop this match by referee stoppage, I thought this was perfect. It really elevates Cole as being someone who's willing to go that deep in order to get that victory. And he proved it here tonight. This helps elevate Cole in a great way. And that's exactly what this match needed to do. I'm glad Jericho put him over in this sense. And it leads to some interesting stuff with the interference that happened during this one a little bit. An announcement for Wednesday. I'm not sure if that was
just a little bit
focused, but yeah.
Yeah, but, that was what caught my eye. I was hoping we would see a
me too.
But no, the fact that Jericho got mad and so because Jericho's mad, there will be a mixed tag match. Yes. I fucking love mixed tag. It will be Jericho and Saraya versus Britt Baker and Adam Cole. And it will be Wednesday, says Toni. And I'm about it because I really like intergender. And I thought there would be way more intergender in AEW 3 years ago when everything sort of was coming up, especially because, some of the guys were known for doing intergender.
Yeah, and Britt really helps steal the show when she came out and started laying into Jericho and to Saraya. Oh my! I like Britt.
I remember I was like tired of her as the champion by the end of her reign, but man, she went all out when she decided to go face and just decided to beat an ass. She didn't have to rely on heel tactics. She didn't have to rely on nothing. She just had to go out there and beat that ass, and she did it. It was great. I was really
she did. Held her own very, very well. So yeah, I think this was a nicely done matchup. Good pacing. Can't complain in it, and at least something for Wednesday night for people to look forward to. So it's a double plus. Next, we have the AEW Tag Team Championship match. Our special referee, Mark Briscoe. We have FTR taking on Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. I like everybody involved with this thing, from the special referee to the people on both sides to Karen Jarrett, who I think draws heat and drew some awesome heat in this matchup. Fantastically. My only gripe, and this is a split in hair, is it was very overbooked with spots and things outside the ring and run-ins, and that was a lot, and it takes the focus a little away from the matchup. But at the same time, there was a lot to be said good about this, because the in-ring action was fantastic, the heat drawn was fantastic, and the moment at the end with Mark hugging FTR and everything like that was a beautiful touch. So, this one for me, still one of the best matches of the night, a personal favorite anyway. So, what do you think of this one?
It stoked the emotions in you. So, it's going to be fire because it's FTR, but there was storytelling there that maybe hasn't been in a lot of their stuff recently. I don't know. It's almost like it seemed contrived until now. When the whole plot came to a head, it felt more real. I don't know. I loved the match. It was very good. I really enjoyed it. I would watch it again, no question. The outcome was perfect. I'm really glad that FTR kept that, because there's no reason for Jeff Jarrett to hold the tag team titles right now.
But credit to Jarrett, he looks pretty damn good for a guy his age that's been working in this industry as long as he has. Like, he looks sharp.
It's some of these guys like him and Billy Gunn and Diamond Dallas Page, and you look at them and you're like, excuse me, you are in better shape than I will ever be in my whole life. What are you doing right or wrong? And
it's that DDPY, I'm telling you. DDPY is magnificent.
I've been dying to try it, but I'm still recovering. I had cervical neck surgery that went in the front. That's just some stuff in the back. And so I'm not quite cleared for that kind of thing yet, but it's close. So maybe I'll start looking into DDP.
It's difficult, but it's very rewarding at the same time. I have tried it. It's fun. Until you hurt, but it's fun.
A good burn is a good burn.
That's right. For sure it is. Astrid saying, I love seeing Lauren so happy just chatting about wrestling with some heart emojis sent in.
I love you.
Fun, lovely night.
I love you.
Yeah. We're having a great time. It's a good day.
We're having a good time. Tonight's fantastic. Oh, while Astrid's here.
There we go.
Okay.
Show and tell time.
Show and tell. So a creator on Twitter named Flighty Buttlass, don't ask, made so people who collect pins will put them on bags where you can see them, but they'll be protected. And those are generally called ETA bags. For the same reason that if you cover your car with animation, it's called an ETA car, that kind of stuff. It's the same vibe. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, she made an ETA bag for wrestling. Okay. And I have obviously filled it with my pins from over the years. But it's so cool, and it's a fanny pack. She made an Ita bag fanny pack. It makes me so happy. I just kind of, I want to just go around with it like this all the time.
There we go.
Wear it
Astrid
around.
thinks it's cute.
Wear it around my neck. Like
Oh, and Astrid wants that link ASAP.
Sure. Have her hit me up in chat. I'll do it. But yeah. So anyway, I wanted to show that off because I'm always proud of my pin collection. I really, really did work on it. I really do like it. And I'm proud that someone I semi, sort of know on Instagram made a really cool product and I got to enjoy it. But I'll have it, back here displayed at some point.
Nice. Ed asking if Mox kissed the dude. Unless it happened off camera, I didn't see any Mox kissing here.
No, I wanted to say I saw someone else do a forehead smooch, but I didn't see like Mox kissing anybody. There was no kissing, but he did bring the fork.
We got Corey MLB 2004 coming in. You guys are doing great. Some fellows in the other Discord, me and Lauren are in. Told me you guys were having an after, so I decided to stop by. It was a great show tonight. I really enjoyed it.
So did we, Corey.
Yeah. Watched Battleground 2, was going to go back and forth. Both shows were great tonight. All weekend was great for pro wrestling. That's what it's all about. It's about finding awesome things that make you happy, and pro wrestling delivered this weekend.
And that's the thing about Corey is he can sit down and watch both shows concurrently and get it. Like he's 19 or something. He's a kid. He is a fetus. And like his brain can just take in so much, so much more than mine. And I just am like, could I have done this? I don't think I could have done this.
It's that youthful energy.
Amazing. Yeah, exactly. And neuroplasticity. Those things we lost.
But Corey, thank you so much for stopping by for your very first time here. We really do appreciate it. Yeah. Anytime we're happy to have you and be active in the chat. We love chit-chatting and talking all things professional wrestling. So we're always here to have fun. That's what it's all about. So glad to have you on board.
Supported. I feel so loved and supported because like people are coming in from our news journalism chat, and it's making me really happy. Because awesome. I joined an org. What happened? Yesterday I was a normal person, and now I'm a Twitch streamer.
That's right. It only gets more crazy and fun from there.
Org. Were you just trying to eventually get a woman in your org? Is this like OTK trying to get Emiru in their org and get legit?
No.
What was going on? No, I'm kidding. And that's the thing, because like, no, that's not what you were doing.
We got a big variety group around here.
Yeah, and you've got so many cool people on staff.
It's one big happy family.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stop, sucking everybody off on this, but it was a really good time, and to think that there are some female streamers who wait years to even be offered a place in an org, and I got it before I started. So,
well, we're gonna have a lot of more fun here to come.
You have so much faith in me. So, anyway,
you're fantastic. You're doing great. We're gonna have fun. And right after this tag match, guess what we got on the show? More Jay White, and we got more Jay White on the program. He showed up a second time just for you, my friend. He comes backstage. He starts kicking some ass, taking some names, and then he turned around and revealed his big old "I Love Ed Fries" tattoo that he's got right across that chest.
He just got right down.
Fantastic.
Anytime you can cram more Jay White into a show.
Love it.
Oh, absolutely.
Why not?
The Wardlow match.
Yes, the Wardlow match was up next.
It was quite good.
I liked this one.
Yeah, I had, I thought that, any interference was just going to be kind of boring. It was going to be a Luchasaurus or just, it wasn't going to make an impact. It made an impact. It was good. It was consistently good the whole time. I enjoyed, I really enjoy when he whipped his ass at the end. I enjoy when he got it and just it was fun. It was not fun in that War Daddy way. You know what was the real standout moment? It was Armed Anderson. It was Armed Anderson trying to bite off a finger. Like coming up with a Glock trying to bite a bitch. This was cannibalism. It was beautiful. This show had everything.
The enforcer got zombified up on in this program.
He just blood all down his face. I was so impressed. I was like, I haven't seen someone try to actually bite someone's digit off, or like actually bite an ear off, or some other small appendage. I was just like, that's great. That's fantastic.
Corey's saying that MJF is talking on the media show right now. I bet that he has got them eating out the palm of his hand right now as well, too. Everybody's probably just wanting to slap him right across his face.
Oh, yeah. And that's the point.
Or biting a thumb. Where was this in the 1980s?
Right? I mean, this would have just... he would have been the only horseman that mattered. If he had been Armed Anderson back then...
Armed Anderson.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what we call him now, because he did the Glock promo.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Did you get to see that? Or
I didn't.
Were you watching at that point? Okay. Yeah. He said, he was basically just calling him a massive wuss. And he was saying, if some guy jacks your car, do you just sort of let him have it or whatever, because you're afraid to get hurt. And then Anderson was like, nah, but that's not me. I'd bring a Glock and I'd put it to his face. And I'm like, okay, you are Armed Anderson now. And so for him to come, the man doesn't need to bring the heat. He's got it in his teeth. Jesus, I don't want to smoke with this man. What's it gonna get? Iron dentures? You just can't get back. You can't. I had never seen somebody try to actually eat another person's body part.
Maybe dinosaur meat is delicious. I mean,
I hadn't thought about that. Remember, they cloned that mammoth meat. Maybe he was just pissed off that he didn't get to have any of the cloned mammoth meat. Nobody did, by the way. No one got to have any of that.
That's a damn shame.
Well, kind of and kind of not, because we don't know what their immune systems had to deal with, and we don't know like what their genetics are, like what they were capable of handling versus what we can, and we didn't know how toxic it would be. So it's like, of course, we're not going to get to fucking eat it. It was a publicity stunt, but it also supposedly smelled like rancid ass.
Okay, well then maybe it's for the best.
Nope, not interested in eating that. Nope.
We got Alex coming in. Well, they didn't call him the enforcer for nothing, and this is very, very true.
He's enforcing in the weird way. Hi, Bob.
And we got the guy with two first names, Bob, coming in. How you doing? Thanks for joining. Happy to have you along for this exciting ride as we talk AEW Double or Nothing. In this ladder match, I thought it was great when Wardlow comes off of the ropes and jumps to the ladder, and the sheer weight of this beast of a human being breaks the rung of the ladder. The ladder goes falling down, and when he's trying to pick it back up to put it just enough to climb the ladder again, was just a beautifully done spot. I was stunned. Absolutely stunned that this guy climbed the tall ladder and did that spot. I have seen this spot before, but when you see a guy the sheer size of Wardlow climbing up there and doing this, I was like, please don't die. That's all I kept thinking. I was also thinking, why do you want to do this to your life? But it was still a cool spot.
It was a great spot. I hope that who is that?
This is Jade. This is one of the two kitties that lives here.
Who's the sweet baby? Okay, sorry about that. Right. I thought that the match was good. I mean, it's not like, a 4.5 star match, but I had a good time. I didn't go to the bathroom during it. It was better than I thought it was going to be, honestly.
Yeah,
I had a
me
good time
too.
watching it. But there was no chance that Christian was going to get that. Not in the slightest, especially not after Armed Anderson showed up with his ace steel teeth.
His ace steel teeth. There's a lot of biting going on over at AEW these days. It's like, are they not feeding these guys in catering, or what the heck is going on there?
I think they're just following Mox's example, because he's always been a biter. In almost every match, you will find a face bite. If you don't find a kiss, you'll find a face bite, and sometimes you'll get both. But almost always you'll get the face bite. And for that to become such a big deal now, I mean, I can't bitch. It's a great move. I love a good face bite.
Now I'm curious to find out what you thought of this next match, because personally, I thought this was my least favorite match of the entire night. I thought this was a mess. We're talking about the AEW Women's Championship. It makes me believe that maybe there's more to the whole Jamie Hayter actually having an injury, because this was Hayter getting the tar beat out of her before the match starts by Saraya and Ruby Soho. Saraya apparently must have sprayed some magic spray that makes you no longer feel your injuries you were just selling about 10 minutes ago there backstage. I always wonder about that, like why you can't play it up a little bit, but it's a nitpick. Yeah. But from there, it was just a demolishing of Hayter, and it really went quickly, and she was pinned, and this was over with the new champion crowned. I didn't see this coming. I didn't expect it. This really was not that great. It should have been better than it was.
No, you did see it. We both saw it. We both talked about this a couple hours ago. Pardon. We both said, if she's really hurt, we'll know in a few minutes. And we knew in a few minutes. So we did talk about this. We did give this our best. We just were hoping for better. We were hoping she wasn't, Yeah.
And Alex saying, was there a banana peel in the ring because Hayter went into the exposed corner for nothing? And just because the show couldn't get any funnier, look who's here to cause some chaos for us. It's Parrish.
Hi, bro. What you got?
Barely a push from the storm. And I did say that. Yes, you did. That Parrish, you did bring that up as well, too. And it's the way it went. It was over in a flash. The only other thing I could think of is they do it this way so that, Hayter can come back saying that she was never legitimately beat because she was tacked beforehand. And then she gets that opportunity in London for the rematch where she wins in front of her hometown crowd. If it's not actual injury related, that's the only logic I can see coming out of this.
And that gives her time to deal with an injury too, because that's not happening for a good chunk of time. So, there's no reason, why they shouldn't have done it. And it would give her exactly what you said. It would give her a hometown win, which, it's your first English show. You got to give them the hometown win.
You would think, yeah. I think there's got to be something behind that at least anyway. Corey coming in saying MJF told Tony Khan he doesn't have any challengers left. Well, after the display Cole put on, I don't know. I'm thinking Cole's going to have something to say about that, my friend.
Oh, buddy. I love MJF's sense of humor.
And Parrish saying he loves having a good night. And Lauren is amazing too.
Thank you, Parrish. You're the bomb. Thank you.
And Alex just saying his ex-wrestler brain has been thinking, and at work here tonight. We get it, buddy. It's all good. It's all love up in this room here tonight.
Yes.
But that was the AEW Women's Championship. Let's move on to the next match on the card. So this is the Trios Championship. This was the Open House Rules matchup. And we got the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass answering the call.
I was shocked. Neither of us thought of the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass.
Nope, not at all.
But none of us pinned it on that, and I didn't pin it on it being as good as it was. It was good. Like I go, oh yeah, this match is good. This match is good too. That match I was watching, and it was fun. The only problem was it was really, really poorly lit outside of the opening.
Yeah.
It just everybody looked dead and not in the cool way. Like they washed. I don't know why they used cool lighting. Like you can see, I'm using warm lighting because if I used cool lighting, I'll show you. I look dead.
Yep.
So that's the difference. Wait, do I have it correct yet? There we go. So yeah, I look alive. But the fact that they were able to drown out like the richness of the richness of everybody's skin, it just went out the door. And I know that was probably so that you could have like the House of Black ambiance sort of continue on, but I don't think it helped. I don't think it helped the ambiance to make them look not like cool dead people, but like not dead people you'd expect.
Not the ones you think would spring to life and give you a good match, but we did get a good match out of this. Max Caster's rap at the beginning was quite cool. There was a couple things in there that I'm like, damn, dude. Like,
he can say it.
Yeah. I'm not saying
it
can't.
True. He can say it. It's all damn true. Yep. I really had fun watching Billy. Once he got in the ring, he really beat it up. He looked like he was having a wonderful time with Malachi. And just it was fun to watch House of Black come in so strongly with such a good entrance. And Julia looking fucking fly, by the way.
That was a good look.
That hat, like the light shining through the hat when it came up, so that it had like the red like crystal crown almost through it. It looked so good.
Well, and those silver finger pieces and stuff too, kind of like badass looking. Like it was a nice touch.
But yeah, I think the match was engaging the whole time, even though sometimes it was a little difficult to watch because everybody looked super dead. Like I'm not sure how you wash out the Acclaimed. Those are beautiful melanin dudes, and they looked damn ashy. And on the before they changed the lighting, like when they came in, they looked correct. They looked like they normally do, and they got in the ring and looked like they'd been smeared in gray grease paint, and then that sucked.
Yeah, and I've always been against that lighting to be done like that and stuff like that. You have a feel for a show. I don't like when the show changes lighting for a particular match to try to make it look different or and they were trying to sell it as like this is a mind trick to psychologically get at the opponents, and I'm like, it's not really a trick. They still have full lighting in the ring. It hasn't changed anything for the competitors themselves. They've just washed the fans out. It's all they've done.
And they could have, I don't know. I have a lot of ideas on what they maybe could have done to change that lighting setup, and none of it means anything of use. But no, the ending was delightful. The match was fun. I was really surprised at how much fun I had watching Billy. I mean, come on. I wasn't expecting to be like, yeah, motherfucker. Billy Gunn. But I did. It was great.
Well, in between him and the last two matches on this card, how many times did it come out clear as day when people were dropping F-bombs and everything?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was everywhere.
Constant on this card.
Which is fine. I mean, it's constant on that roster too. So it's
That's
not
fair.
Like it's not a real shock on this one.
I've always been an advocate for the fact that you're in the middle of a fight, you're probably going to call someone a fucker or something like that. So
yeah, someone's getting the fuck word. We understand this. We have an FCC agreement. It's done. Let's go.
That's right. It's
and
a passionate
yeah,
thing.
they were talking big talk. Everybody was talking big talk this time.
They were. Yeah.
Woo!
So House of Black retains, and then from there we got more titles online.
Yes, we had the TNT title on the TBS title.
TBS.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always mix the two up. We had the TBS title on the line. Jade was defending against Taya Valkyrie. We had this discussion before. Valkyrie did not win, but Jade did also not retain. But we will discuss that in a minute. The entrances were supposed to be absolutely insane, and Taya's, I mean, she had 2 showgirls, and I think that was pretty much it.
Yep.
But Jade had a lineup from Alpha Kappa Alpha, which Greek life is really important to the just to the entire college experience for some people. And in historically Black colleges, the Greek life experience is very important to maybe many more or to a bigger percentage. And to see Jade show out was really, really cool. And I loved seeing other members of AKA dancing and doing choreography and looking fantastic. And she came out to Pretty Girls Walk Like This and just ate, left no crumbs. It was brilliant. Great entrance. And the match didn't take too long either. Like I was expecting a little more time on it, you know, let it age. Perhaps it would become better. It was not better. I wanted so much better out of Taya. But like if she'd lost and if she had been super great, I'd have just been thrilled. But she lost and she was not, you know.
It was better than their first encounter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was better than the previous ladies match on the card. But it still was not. Like you say, it's again, you want more from Taya. I would have liked to see it go longer as well, too. I know she's capable. I know that this could have been very much a stronger match than it was. But it wasn't supposed to be that. And the reason being is because of the aftermath. And that's where this kind of comes all into play. Jade basically bragging that there's nobody out there. Nobody can beat her. She's open for a challenge anytime, anywhere, any place. Right then, I'm like, who we got?
Mark Sterling cue music. Yeah. Mark Sterling was like, okay, I'm going to run my mouth. And Jade was like, yeah, I'm totally ready for another round. This can be fantastic. Like she didn't just haul Taya Valkyrie up.
Yeah.
And music drops. Yeah. And who's back? Chris Statlander. She is back and she took up the challenge. And in very short order, extremely short order, became the TBS champ that she was probably meant to be about, I don't know, 8 months ago.
Yeah.
So it was, that made me feel really good, but I also was just like, I wanted Taya to really, really perform for this. But I mean, maybe she just knew she was never going to get this. And so she just dragged us.
Yeah. And I wanted more from this, but again, like, I think the moment is in Statlander. People have wanted to see this. They got the opportunity to see it. Here it is now. Chris Statlander has defeated the 60-0 reign. It is now 60-1 for Jade Cargill.
Which this is really good. Is they gave her the 60. They went ahead and gave her that because she has been a company woman. She has not effed about. She has made her own sort of niche to do her own thing. She made the baddies. She made Mark Sterling seriously, like, he was relevant. He was working his way into storylines. It was Jade who elevated his game. And I don't know, man. I felt satisfied and yet unsatisfied. Like, I was satisfied that, you know, Stat's back.
Yeah.
But I felt,
I feel like they could have used it to build up that matchup and had the matchup be where Statlander finally conquers the Reign legit instead of after another match.
Man,
I mean, here's Parrish's big disappointment in the whole thing.
Nice.
Yeah. You can tell the maturity levels are high up in here tonight.
It's late.
No, that's just Parrish. Plain and simple.
No, but for real, I love that Statlander is the belt holder now. Hi, Basser.
Yeah, Basser.
I'm really glad that happened. I thought that was a fantastic choice. I'm glad Jade got her 60, but it was 2 very short matches that did a lot and still weren't as compelling as they should have been.
That's a very fair assessment of this entire thing. I hope that better things to come. I hope that, maybe that one-on-one with Statlander and Cargill will be a much stronger match and that Statlander can stamp her place with a legitimate victory there, not against an already fallen champion, but somebody that she can legitimize herself against in Jade Cargill with a follow-up matchup of stronger proportions for sure. Barish, what do you got for us? It would have been better if she had her own building get the title, but the fact that it wasn't her match deflated how awesome the moment was. I can see that picture for sure too. The comeback was necessary. I think that she should have come out. She should have faced up to Jade and said, "We will do this for sure."
No, they have to. They absolutely had to pull the trigger the first moment they had. Okay. Or at least that was my opinion. It's like, yeah, it wasn't terribly compelling, but do they have another chance necessarily to pull this trigger? Are they going to wait another, month? Are they going to wait all the way to All In? When were they going to do this transfer?
See, and I'm a big advocate for longer booking, so I would have been okay with the wait till All In and build the hype of a match myself.
Normally, so would I, but Chris was injured twice in quick succession. And at that point, you have to do some damage control. You want to keep this person on your roster. You had a plan for her. You get her into that plan before she goes off and works for somebody else when her 3-year contract is up.
That's a fair assessment for sure.
I think that might be. I mean, this is just me spitballing, but that's why I wasn't mad. I wasn't mad. You pull the trigger the moment you can when it's, someone like Statlander and you really want her as the face. But it's just.
Well, and money talks when those contracts start coming up. So
that's right.
You never know.
That's right.
So that is a fair, logical explanation as to why they could have pulled that trigger. Make her happy. Make the fans happy as well too, because obviously there is that connection with Statlander. The fans enjoy her, so they're going to be happy moving forward. So we'll see where this all leads. It could lead to some interesting things, and who knows who the opponents might be. Maybe we get that rematch at Wembley after all, kind of thing. So
see if they had the build up and Stat's already in a place of power. Now we have some fun coming up there.
There we go. Gotta have some big stuff at Wembley. It's a big stadium. You got to go big. It's going to have to be a massive show.
It's so many tickets. It's so many. Like, I thought, maybe I'll try and go. This would be an amazing time. I'm a Heels member. I could have gotten pre-sale. I have people I could stay with. It's been a long time since I've had a homestead there, but I can still, I have a place. And I just don't. I thought about it and I was like, possibly 70 to 90,000 people once all the tickets are done. I don't want to be near that many people.
I'm a digital people person myself.
I like being around people. I just don't want to be around 70 to 90,000 of them.
That's a whole lot of people.
That doesn't impress me at all. I don't want to sit in stands and watch somebody on the screen. I will be at home and watch somebody on the screen. And those will be the perfect angles. So, because it'll have gone through a production truck before it gets to me.
They can decide what I want to watch.
That's terrible. They do that anyway.
That's right. But speaking of things I want to watch, I wanted to watch the AEW Championship matchup, and that was the second last match of the night. A little shocked. I usually see title matches as going on last, but I'm okay with it. Especially okay with it because this turned out to be awesome. This was my favorite match of the night, by far, on a personal level. I think all four did a great job in this matchup. I think the spots were good. The placement was good. They got the crowd pumping, which is something nobody had really done throughout the entire night. They got the crowd out of their seats as if they were saving all that energy for this particular matchup. And man, what a difference it made in the presentation. The match was good. And my boy MJF coming out with another victory. I mean, I hate to admit it. I love good heel work, and MJF is just beautiful heel work, and I enjoy what he does. Yeah.
He's so good. It opened with Sammy coming. Well, all of the pillars were coming out at their own pace, and Sammy came out with Ty Mello, and they announced they were pregnant.
Yes, that was a nice touch.
That was a wonderful touch. What else did I notice? Right. Okay. So normally Sammy has a little, like crack showing. He always has a little bit of the meat. Like maybe his sock tape isn't quite right, or maybe he does it on purpose, but there's always a little butt meat just kind of showing. Good. He was all tucked in tonight. But guess who was double cheeked up? It was your boy.
He was. He really was.
He had that ass out. It was so awfully funny.
Parrish was hoping that MJF was going to come out with a sign that says it was his baby. Yes! that would have been good. Yes! Although I did really love when he got on the microphone and he goes, Sammy, my man, you're going to be a baby. I saw the sign. Just lay down, take the loss. And, you need the money. You're going to be a dad. You need the money. Just lay down for me. That's just such slimy little work by MJF. And it was a beautiful touch. And I knew what was going to happen. Sammy would agree. He's play possum. He tried to roll up MJF. But it was a great, great spot in this matchup.
I thought there was so much cleverness. The choreography was really nice. Like, I didn't see any massive botches. It didn't look like anybody got, a career-ending injury. And maybe it's just the crowd was finally waking up at 10 o'clock at night. But they elevated what was elevating them. Yeah. And that got everybody ready for the next big match. Whether you think that match was good or not, that's what it was getting it ready for. And it was so good. It was so good. I think maybe that might be my match of the night too.
It was mine for sure.
It had so much heart.
And I got to say, for how hot and cold I found Sammy to be, I thought that he was a standout in this matchup. I thought he had some beautiful points in this one. Jack Perry actually had some great opportunity in this thing. And I think that Darby's always kind of been a little bit of a dark horse. He's very, very skilled, and he proves that when he really fires up in these things. And of course, MJF is great at working a crowd. He always has been as well too. So all that stuff just it molded into this fantastic thing. And I got to say props to MJF on the elbow pad that said, I'm the only pillar, or whatever it said on his elbow pad.
Yeah, the only pillar.
Yeah. Nice, beautiful touch.
He did perfectly. Having him continue was pretty much what we both thought. Although, Sammy, it's so weird. Like, when he really goes, do you remember the ladder match with Cody? Were you watching at that point yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've periodically watched since the start. I don't watch religiously, but I've watched stuff.
Well, the cool part of it was that, what was I saying?
Ladder match.
Right.
With Cody.
It was just one of Sammy Guevara's best matches ever. Yeah. To that point. And I think that this is in that top 5 for him, if only the stakes. And I don't know, maybe I'll support him next time. I don't know, man. Now I'm a little more compelled. I don't know why.
The best part about this whole entire matchup was that for all the other guys outside of MJF, it gave them more oomph moving forward. So they've kind of been put in that spotlight. They pulled off a fantastic main event. So now moving forward, even in loss, they look strong. And I know there was a message earlier that Parrish had, not this one. MJF was the one who came up with the pillars angle. Yes. But Parrish did say earlier about, I got to find it now. It's so much easier if I just find it. I'm going to go find it if it's on here. But yes, right here. So MJF says there's no more challenges, but he did only beat one of the pillars tonight. So technically, one-on-one situations, the pillars are still in question as possibilities for MJF's title reign as well, too. So it brings up that idea that either one of those two guys that did not take the loss tonight very well could go looking for MJF's title.
Fuck it. Give it to Kip Sabian. He'd be so happy. He would work so hard. Like, can you think of anybody else who would be happier with that title, with any title, than Kip?
I'd be pretty happy with a title, but I'm not a wrestler, so.
No, you're not a wrestler. No. We can't put that on the line.
I just talk smack about
your non-wrestling title on the line.
No. I'm the greatest undefeated non-competing wrestler of all time.
Hey, I've taken a bump at least.
So have I. Several.
I've only taken one, but it's who I took it from that's really cool. Awesome. But that's a story for another day.
I will be all ears for that one. But we have one more match that we need to talk about.
Oh, my God.
I am going to let you have the floor because these are definitely not so much my cup of tea, but I know how much this one meant to you and how much I'm sure you loved it. So the floor is all yours, Lauren. Let us know about Anarchy in the Arena.
Okay. Anarchy in the Arena was the Elite versus Blackpool Combat Club. And it started just exactly the way you thought it would start. But one of the things, I think it happened at the last Anarchy in the Arena, was they forgot to turn off Mox's music at the beginning of the whole match, and for a while they just kept playing it. It was really theatrical, and so they did that this time in a slightly different way. They did it with the Violent Idols, who did Mox's entrance music for New Japan, the Death Rider entrance music. Yeah. And for them to come out and sing his AEW theme song, Wild Thing, was really cool. But then they kind of played it for a while. They played it for like maybe 2 minutes too long. There were a couple of breaks in the action that would have been the perfect time to just axe the music. Yeah. But I mean, it was just so cool to see them be brought in and to see that kind of loyalty on the part of someone you know is known for being fairly loyal, but you don't necessarily know if they're like loyal in a business sense or just in a personal sense. This was a very loyal business sense kind of thing, and it impressed me a lot. Also, I want to talk about what Kenny Omega was wearing.
Okay.
He's this Captain America phase, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's Captain Canada.
Captain Canada.
It's Captain Canada phase.
Yeah, that's why he had that the trash can lid at one point too, and he was blocking things from Claudio. I'll just say Claudio. It's so much easier to say.
Bashed the shield down. It was beautiful, but it was so silly, and I just sort of kept looking at it and grinning about it because it was so. It was so Kenny. It was such a bisexual disaster thing to do, and he did it because he's a bisexual disaster. Whether he's bisexual or not, we claim him as a bisexual disaster.
He's an honorary member.
He is an honorary bisexual disaster.
Okay.
Okay, so I took notes on this show. And
you're like a modern note taker. I'm like old school, right?
I seriously thought about it because every time I had to look up and back from my phone, I was not having a good time. But so I just have like the vibe in these very small phrases, and like Yuta feeling the daddy energy, big twunk energy. In crowd, how is Kota's sign? Next scene with him is Kota beating the shit out of Paige with a belt. It's like, well, that's how he is. Just, there's... This was a fun one.
Keep going.
Everybody got bloodied. Nick just gushed. I was not expecting.
The ref bladed.
The ref bled. People thought other people were bleeding. They weren't. It was the ref and Nick Jackson. Paige and Mox, they both bled. That's normal for them. People better start, putting the same kind of bullshit on Paige's name that they do on Mox's name for blading, because bitch, man does a lot of bleeding these days.
We got poor Ed, can't keep his eyes open. He's going to go have some rest and watch the rest later. Ed, thanks for being a trooper and staying up late with us in the first place. Hope you enjoyed Battleground. And Ed
is such a G. I'm so glad he showed out for us. Thank you, man.
As always, Ed, you're a wonderful human being. Appreciate you.
Mox brought the fork. Not that that's a shocker, but it's always good to see Fork Chan.
Ed, you're above average, my friend.
He really is. He really is a good dude. Real glad to know him. Like when Adam Page took off the leather patch, like, was that meant to be fetishist? Was it just meant to be cowboyish? Was it meant to just be him taking off a patch and looking scary? I don't know, but that's a lot of leather for one match. What was it? Oh my God, Matt's foot is so pale. Yeah. At one point, Claudio took off Matt's shoe and sock. And this was after Matt had super kicked Mox in the face with like a flashbang. And so they stripped him of that. And Mox brought out thumbtacks. And you know where this went. It went exactly where you think it did. In everybody's back and feet and mouth and face. And it was a lot. But I guess what I caught from it is, oh God, Matt's foot is so pale. Mox brought gifts for Matt. How considerate. Mouth tacks.
Yeah, there were mouth tacks.
There were mouth tacks. And somehow that's what I caught. And I very distinctly remember the mouth tacks. Pale foot Matt.
That's good.
No. Oh no. I was really impressed with how strong they made you to look. Like, I thought, oh, he always takes the pen, or he's never the guy to get the pen. He's still the young boy of the group, and it's going to be what it is or whatever. Oh no. This was young man Yuta's night. And so we were getting close to the end. I'm going to speed it on up because there were lots of really cool things that went on. Like Nick looked like a badass the whole time. Just so amazing. It was so good. So they were getting ready, like they were getting towards the end. and Kenny and Hangman set up a combo of a Deadeye and a One-Winged Angel. Danielson took it, and no one except for Kota Ibushi has ever kicked out of the One-Winged Angel. And I don't think anybody but Kota Ibushi will kick out of the One-Winged Angel as long as Kenny Omega can still wrestle. But he was definitely ready to take that pin, and it was broken up, and Yuta got his ass beat. And while he was getting his ass beat, someone came around.
They did.
Who is this special masked man? Does anyone remember who Don Callis recently said, "Oh, you should come and work for me"? Anybody remember? Anybody remember? It was Takeshita.
Yeah.
It was our beautiful, wonderful Cinnabon baby. Our Cinnabon loving, dear-hearted little man. Just came in.
Added to the anarchy.
And Yuta won. He took the opening, and 1, 2, 3. That was Yuta's. I want to say that was his first big pay-per-view win, and this was a big pay-per-view win.
Oh, so especially considering the talent involved, it's definitely massive for him.
Yes, and I was so impressed. I was just so impressed. I was like, our little baby boy, our little baby boy, so cute, little man. I don't know. These young guys coming up, you just kind of want to pat them on their very tall forehead and be like, it's going to be okay. Please protect the back of your neck.
Yeah. Yes, please do. That's usually a good thing in pro wrestling.
But I think
protect that neck.
The final note on here was Yuta won. What the actual fuck? And I mean, that's how I felt at the end, was what the actual fuck? But it was very good. It was a pretty decent hardcore match. I was glad to see the tacks. I was glad to see the screwdriver. I'm always happy to see Fork Chan. Just a good time. It was a good time. That was the most fun match, but you were absolutely correct that the Four Pillars match was technically and in some ways like comedically and engagingly better.
And fair enough. I knew what I was getting into with this one too. It's just too much of the hardcore stuff just isn't usually my cup of tea. But as always, I always look on the bright side. There's always something on a card I can enjoy, and there was multiple things on this card for me to enjoy. So for what I don't care for as much, it's okay because there was some awesome shit. So I'm happy. I'm sure everybody else was happy. Hopefully everyone was happy, because that's what we're all about. The happiness, the fun, the joy.
I was hearing that there was some like dissent on Twitter about it. And then I just sort of, like flipped through Twitter a little bit. And I don't know where everybody was seeing all the negativity like en masse, because there have been pay-per-views where they have just absolutely shat the bed. And they'll get that hate and it'll be real hard, but I didn't see him really shit the bed with anything except, obviously using Sabu continually.
Yeah. And that's why I didn't even bring his name up, because it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. He did nothing of use.
Yeah, that's right. Get out of here, Sabu.
Anybody who can throw a chair can do what Sabu can do. And maybe they won't say a whole bunch of garbage on Twitter about their future working environment.
That would be good. Can you imagine that? People getting along and working together. Oh, what a world this would be.
But no, we
look who showed up. Kevin. Kevin, my good friend. How's it going, brother? How you doing? Up late with us. So
Kevin, did you have a good time? Did you watch this awesome show, or are you just going to sit here and listen to me talk about the fact that, like,
see, what you don't even know, Lauren, Kevin over there, he did the whole Danhausen thing on stream one night too. He had the whole full face paint and everything like that. Kevin's a trooper. He's a total trooper and an awesome guy. He is fun. And Paris saying he did. Of course, he had the watch along, and it was amazing, fantastic. Why did they play Wild Thing for 20 minutes? You just missed. Lauren explained the whole point of that, though. Yeah.
So. Okay, so I'll just do this real quick. So either last year or the year before, the last time when whoever Mox was grouping with was in one of these, big deal fights, or maybe it was one of his single matches. I just don't remember. But I remember that they kept the music on, and it was really compelling. Like, it helped. It helped elevate what was becoming kind of a gross, awesome beginning of a match. Now, they did it again, but this time they did it on purpose, which is never quite as fun. The cool thing that they did was use Violent Idols for it. And Violent Idols is the band that Mox used for his NJPW theme. And so seeing them do Wild Thing was great. Seeing them do Wild Thing 50 times less great.
That's perfectly said. Exactly what needed to be said. Paris saying that Tony Khan forgot the words and needed it played multiple times. While we were watching it, I told my wife that Tony Khan just loved the song so much that he just kept handing the band money to play it over and over.
just keep handing them the cash.
Come on, guys, I'm loving this. I'm loving it. Here's some more. So.
It's not got that many words, bud.
No, it really doesn't. Hopefully you learned it by now. Tony Khan's gonna be driving home tonight. Wild Thing.
You may rock. Jesus God.
The check is on repeat.
Absolutely.
Oh, loving it. But that was AEW Double or Nothing. This has been AEW Double or Nothing reviews. It has been a blast. This was a good night. I'm really glad we got the opportunity to sit down and review this show together. But in the meantime and in between time, as we're coming to a close here, Lauren, why don't you let everyone know where they can reach out to you, talk to you about more AEW and other exciting professional wrestling?
You can always hit me up on Twitter at Lulu Goodnight. You can grab me on YouTube at Lauren Goodnight. You can hit me up on Facebook, although I am on private. I am Lauren Goodnight. That's also my Insta. And by all means, just come poke me and talk about wrestling, talk about, who do you think should have won? Who do you think would get the bigger push? Who do you think is going to, have the next big fall from grace? Because we all love a little gossip here. I'm super excited. I'm super grateful you had me on, Bobby.
The honor's all on this side of the table. I'm glad that we have a resident expert of AEW that can come in and bring all the facts and everything like that. You're awesome, and you did an amazing job here, and looking forward to more of these AEW reviews and everything like that you're going to be bringing to the table here for us moving forward as well too.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward to having you on Busting Out this coming Sunday as well too. Talk
right.
about just how kind of crazy Parrish gets things rolling. I'm sure Sunday will be no different. It's going to be a blast. Also, while you're at it, check out rogueenergy.com, our sponsor here on the show. You can use that promo code OLE Pods for 10% off your order. They are an energy drink company. They bring you a sugar-free, vegan-friendly alternative to the average everyday energy drink that you'll find in the stores. If you want to save money, though, make sure to smash that promo code OLE Pods for 10% off your order. This has been an amazing time. Hold on. Paris trying to interrupt. I have questions. Wikipedia. Paris, you're just trying to make this night later than always. I could see it already.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Everybody has their place.
But you know what? I know how to get rid of Parrish quick. We're going to send a raid out, and then he's going to be stuck on somebody else's channel. So I'm getting that raid prepared. We're getting the Parrish out of here. We want everybody to go have a good night's sleep, get some rest, because it's Monday tomorrow. And if you're in the States, I hope you have a wonderful, lovely Memorial Day. If you're like us in Canada, let's get to bed, us crazy folks, because we need to get up in the morning and start working to make that bag. This has been a wonderful time talking about AEW Double or Nothing. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night.
Bye.